Pinheads and Patriots. Joining us from Washington, Alicia Menendez, Senior Advisor at NDN, a liberal think tank. So from now on, when I'm talking about World War II, do I have to say Japanese extremists attacked us, Pearl Harbor? Do I have to do that?
Well, I don't think that's apples to apples. In one case, you're talking about a country that instigated a war. In another case, you're talking about a very slim sect of a religious group that has instigated a war of terror against the United States.
But let me stop you there.
Let's be clear, it's apples and oranges.
Well, I don't know about apples or oranges or bananas or grapes. All I know is that one group attacked us on 9/11, and you're absolutely correct. It was a nation. But believe me when I tell you, there are a lot of Japanese people who didn't want to do that. And another group attacked us on 9/11, all right? And believe me when I tell you, most Muslims didn't want that. But the groups are described by their country, Japan, or whatever group, the banners they were under, and they are all Muslims, every one of them. So I'm going to submit to you that I'm tired of the political correctness, and I think most people watching are as well. I didn't mean to denigrate the Muslim religion, but I aptly described who attacked us on 9/11, causing two very liberal women to walk off the set. I'm still amazed. I don't know why that happened.
I feel like you and I can get into the semantics of this when really this is a much bigger question. You and I both know it's a much bigger question about how we talk about September 11th, how much politics we want involved in September 11th. I don't want any. I think this is supposed to be a day of remembrance and resolve for America and should have nothing to do with politics. Furthermore, it concerns me when religion is used as a wedge issue between people, and that's why I think we need to be careful here, because when religion is used to drive people apart, that's an abuse of religion.
Alicia, and I think your sentiment is heartfelt and very noble, I have to say. But I have to say to you, religion is the reason why we were attacked, that these Muslims feel that the United States, Americans, are infidels, that we are evil, and that they would like to impose, and we just heard it last week on a Christiane Amanpour interview on ABC, they would like to impose their religion on this country. So to dismiss the religious aspect of this is, again, that's not living in the real world.
You can't dismiss it. No, absolutely not. But I do think that it makes sense to be careful when we speak about it. I mean,
so I have to be careful when I tell people that we were attacked on 9/11 by Muslims. I can't say that. It's offensive.
How much skin off your hide is it to really say that this was a small fraction of the people? And
okay, so how many times do I have to say it? It's 10 years after the fact.
A million, a bazillion.
Everybody knows. I have to say it a gazillion times.
But Bill,
I'm not buying a political correct line here. I'm just not.
So how would you feel if you were one of the 50 Muslim American families who's at home, who has lost a loved one, who maybe even lost a first responder to this horrible American tragedy?
I would say that O'Reilly is telling the truth.
Muslims do this.
O'Reilly is telling the truth, and he is an anti-Muslim, because you know I'm not, and everybody else does, even Ms. Goldberg and Ms. Behar, if they had any frame of reference about this program. But I'll tell you what, what President Obama did at the Ground Zero Mosque hurt him politically in this country. Now, I know you don't want to tie politics with 9/11, but it hurt the president. He did not present the issue well, and it widened the gulf between him and the folks. And that's part of his problem this election cycle. Am I wrong?
I would argue that he has much bigger problems on the economy. I think that's
we've already gone over the economy. We've already seen it.
And I think that while this is like a very heated and raw issue, because no matter where you are on this issue, you care very deeply about it, I don't think it's a reason that people are looking at President Obama and really judging him on
this. Now,
would
you have, if you were on that set, and the View should bring you in, by the way, would you have walked out during that discussion?
I probably would not have, but I come from a mindset where I do want everyone to have a chance to talk. And that's why, Bill, I was surprised watching you on that show, because you said something to Joy Behar that I thought was out of place for you and out of place for a guest, which was that if she would just be quiet and listen to you, the guest, then she would learn something. And I would just never, as your guest, ever approach you that way. And that, to me, was bizarre.
You know how I can be, and I was going to educate Ms. Behar on the 70% that agree with me, according to the CNN poll. And she was yapping, so I had to get her attention. Now,
But you see how that might be condescending.
A little bit. But, you know,
That's good. That's a good admission.
I am often offensive. I think everyone knows that.
No, and that's the thing. Your job is to be a provocateur.
It just comes out that way sometimes. But
And
Ms.
it
Behar
is. It is
actually
your
disputed
brand,
the poll. Ms. Behar disputed the poll. I mean, come on. You know, there comes a point where there is fact in this world. Alicia,
but what she was asking you to, okay,
go ahead. No, go ahead. Wrap it up. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that there are Americans on the other side of this issue who care as much as you do and respect that President Obama has stood up for the
30% of the country
sanctity
are
of
on the
religion.
other side and 70% are with me. I'm quite comfortable in that precinct.